Any contract that comes to a legal team could be reviewed within a period of 10 minutes. It's been a super exciting story. AI for contract review is really in its early days. It requires a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources.
Very excited today to have JP, Chief Strategy Global Officer of LegalOn Technologies, joining us.
Hi Stanley, pleasure to be here.
Nice to meet you. Tell us a bit about yourself. What was your background, last role, and what is your current role as the Chief Global Strategic Officer?
Global strategy entails, of course, the strategic elements, but also with a big focus on our global expansion. I am a generalist. Started my career in finance. I have been for most of my career in finance. I've been a banker, I've been a project manager, I've been on the technology side. And through my career, I've been exposed to a lot of contracts and realized the inefficiencies around the legal tech that was available. And I was, of course, well aware of the potential of the technology. So when I was introduced to our founder, Nozo saw this very unique startup from Japan really leading the way in contract AI, and their interest in going global as a really something that I couldn't miss and that I've been very happy to be a part of.
That's very exciting, JP. How did you get in touch with Japan? And then you speak good Japanese and got some interesting background. Do you mind share a little bit, just so the audience know why and how, and and now from Japan you're going overseas?
Absolutely. So I'm originally from Canada, from the French side of Canada, and I came to Japan through an exchange. So at the age of 17, I was exposed to a Japanese high school. I picked up Japanese over that 1 year and wasn't planning to be coming to Japan, but really fell in love with the country, its culture. Japan is really a special place. And I came to Japan with a very open mind, thinking I would move on and make my way to different countries over my career, but I ended up staying and still very happy here after 23 years. So not a bad place to be.
Wow, 23 years in Japan, the food, the culture, the business, I suppose it's very exciting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Tell us about LegalOn Technologies. I know everyone knows legal AI space is very heated and very popular, in particular with the LLM maturing. What do you guys do? What product are you offering and values? And how do you differentiate from market competition, JP?
LegalOn was founded 7 years ago by two corporate lawyers. So from the beginning, the legal aspect of legal tech is definitely plays a very important role. 7 years ago, so 2017, this was before LLMs, of course. We saw the opportunity in AI to help us review contracts. And from the beginning, that's been our focus. So using our legal AI to review contracts, which is really a pain point in the contracting process. Lawyers so far didn't get much support outside of Outlook and Word. So that's been really our focus in an area where we've been able to make a difference, get traction prior to any other players in the UK and in the US, which is a bit unique. That's been our focus. We're originally from Japan, now we are very global, serving clients over the American and European continents, as well as Asia. We started with that contract review focus. That definitely still is our differentiator and our strengths. Our legal AI grounded on authoritative legal content. We invest a lot in our legal content, and that really translates in results. It really shows in terms of what you get out of an AI contract review when the content is reliable. Now, we have expanded to support more, especially in our home market of Japan, where we are the leader in legal tech. We support a more complete contract lifecycle offer. But in global markets, we really focus on our really big strength, which is contract review and related areas. So the pre-execution side of things.
Okay, exciting. Fabulous. Who are your key target customer? Are they big law firm, big four, or in-house or individuals? The review you mentioned as the core. How are you expanding the features now in your home country, in the US and now in Pan-Europe?
Our target customers are in-house, is where we really focus most of our energies. We do have a quite large number of law firms, but it's typically when they behave more like in-house, more of an ALSP or a managed service type of situation. Our focus, our attention when we build products is really with the lawyer reviewing commercial contracts. So perhaps your more routine contracts that come in that take up a lot of in-house team's time.
So in-house lawyer reviewing, drafting, summarizing, searching, save my time, save my well, if that's a good summary, JP.
Absolutely. And so that you can focus your energies on where you bring value. We will spot the risks. We will allow you to confirm that things are in line with your playbook or the off-the-shelf playbooks that we offer. This is a big differentiator, especially for mid-market players, for example, that may not have the luxury of time to develop their own playbooks. We can save your time. You focus on the important aspects of the contract and liberate your time so you can do some of the more strategic, more really focus on areas of your work. You are uniquely positioned to make a difference.
How do you differentiate from global players? For example, let's talk about Harvey from the US originally. They are backed by the like of OpenAI. So how do you compare with their product?
There's a number of products coming out, and each has its own focus, right? So the needs of different lawyers will differ greatly. The needs of a team within the law firm focused on M&A transactions is going to be very different from the need of a corporate lawyer dealing with high volumes of commercial contracts. Our focus is really one dimension. The way we apply our legal AI for contract review is really consistent with the way lawyers view contracts. So there's no need to change your approach to reviewing a contract. As you go through the contract, we will flag those items that require your attention. We will give you a proposed way of handling it. We'll give you reference material. We are one of the only providers giving you access to practical guidance, as well as allowing you with just one click reflect the changes if you agree with our suggestion or if you notice that something needs to be updated. It's a very efficient way of doing things that mirrors the approach of lawyers. Different providers take different approaches, but we believe this is the one that is most natural to lawyers. In addition, our LegalOn Assistant really supports legal teams' ability to interact with their contract, to summarize, to change clauses, to draft in a way that we believe, and we're getting good feedback in that sense, that is consistent and natural in terms of usability.
We're seeing then the other peers, they are focusing on different client groups, and they're focusing on different product workflow focus.
Yes, so the legal space is very big and different players are, yes, we're each focusing on our sweet spot. For us, our strength in AI review is something that we're investing a lot in, and it's a complicated problem. It requires a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources. And rather than doing everything for everyone today, we take a very focused approach.
Yeah, tell me about it. I spend so much time just reading the basic NDA, for example, for my work, and not to say the other SPA and the final document. Let's focus on your role, because your role is very interesting. Global strategy, right? What is your current focus now on your role? Are you putting more time now in Europe, where you're expanding, or are you still spending a lot of time in the US, where is a new but not really new but maturing battleground?
It's been a super exciting story. So originally from Japan, we've launched in the US just a bit over, close to around 2 years ago. Reception has been amazing. We rebuilt our product. We already were supporting English contracts, but we really rebuilt our content and our product for global markets. Reception has been great, still growing, obviously. The legal AI for contract review is really in its early days. Being the largest legal market in the world, obviously our focus is on the US market. We do see a lot of needs. AI is happening everywhere. Legal teams across countries, across languages across jurisdictions obviously are very interested in applying the technology. So we're trying to be there for our clients. What does it mean? The US is growing very quickly. Happy to report that we have launched in the UK very recently. It was great to see you around the time of our launch, actually. So the UK market, obviously the second largest legal market, very relevant. And also English jurisdiction, England and Wales, is the inspiration for many other jurisdictions around the world. Therefore making it even more relevant. We are providing that a very custom approach to specific markets, but at the same time, our off-the-shelf offer or standard offer is used by clients across countries, across jurisdictions. We have a great ability to, we have great features that allow you to customize to reflect your own items. At the same time, when we deal with larger enterprise and we fully customize a solution, we ensure that the results are exactly in line with what's expected. That's sort of separate from the country per country expansion that we are looking to do, while a lot of our attention is on the US and the UK markets.
How much market share do you have in Japan now?
We are the clear leader in Japan. Actually, interesting fact is that when people think of legal tech in Japan, in most of the world, they would think of CLM as a first step in the legal tech world. In Japan, it's legal AI for contract review. Our founder was behind a lot of that. It's the number one solution that corporates will consider. And now we're seeing in other markets, CLM obviously remaining very relevant, and it's the right answer for many, but for busy legal teams, often the biggest pain point is review of high volume contracts. I think that's why we're seeing great response.
Talking about growth, which is your core area, what goals do you have for the team? What would be the strategy to achieve it?
We have big ambitions. Really, right now, our focus is on bringing the best of AI and the technology for the benefit of legal teams. We are in a very specific area of legal tech. The way for us to win is for us to provide the best product, the best experience, the best accuracy. People get value and really are able to review their contracts more efficiently. In terms of objectives, the space is moving really quickly. Things start by providing a product that works for legal teams. Things should follow through quite naturally from that.
So are you doing more direct sales, channel sales, mix of both, or even different approaches? In the UK?
It's a bit of a mix. For most legal teams, ability to speak with someone who understands their situation is absolutely key. Very often that means direct sales or working with partners that are well positioned. Lawyers have need to feel that they're understood when you try to sell to them. It's very normal. Our products are very specific, so that's our approach. But we do work with some great partners in helping us reach clients and sell as well.
Excellent. Why UK? Obvious question, obvious answer maybe, but help us to understand a bit more. We see everyone is in UK, in particular in the past 1 year, or small up and coming players coming from Europe, for example, some smaller ones. So why so important, and how are you going to take this UK playbook into the rest of the affiliated worlds?
We're super excited about the UK market. So following great response in the US, so we knew this was something we wanted to do. And what does that mean in practice? The UK, it means having a more focused approach to selling within the country, of course, but also having a product that is adapted to the England and Wales jurisdiction, which we've done starting with a set of 25 playbooks that are ready to use, that are very popular with mid-market players, for example, those that tend to suffer from high volumes of contracts. UK is relevant, obviously second largest legal market in the world. UK jurisdiction is also used across a number of transactions, a number of deals, a number of contracts outside of the borders of the UK. And the England and Wales jurisdiction is really the inspiration for a lot of other jurisdictions. Think about Australia, think about Singapore, think about a number of others that are closely aligned. And it's just a natural step for us as we look to support more legal teams going forward.
But are you guys managing the team from Japan, or are you have a segregated, dedicated business, if not technology team even, in the US and UK in the future?
We are from Japan. We don't see ourselves as a Japanese company. Definitely a global leader in legal tech. That's sort of the mentality. The Japanese market has its own particularities. There's be it from language or sales approach and all that. So we have sort of a structure for the Japanese domestic market. When we look at the rest of the world, we look at it, of course, in a very much as one market. We look, of course, we do, and we will continue to adjust to the local needs. From our headquarters in San Francisco, we lead our global product. And while we are setting up in the UK at this time, I believe that in terms of product direction, definitely we do want to offer a consistent offer across countries, not only because the needs are consistent, lawyers are lawyers before being American or British, but also because we work with more clients that will use us across jurisdictions, across countries. And we think that having a relatively uniform experience is also an advantage.
The global mindset from Japan into the world, which is very uncommon from a Japanese company perspective, but very exciting. At least from my understanding, the Japanese world is sort of coming up to the scenes with the tech maturing, with the country also sort of bottom up in terms of economy. Help us understand on the product itself. I understand, we've got a layer of foundation model, and then we've got a layer of what the market might call just like a data layer or a playbook. And then we have the application or the UI, UX, the product layers to solve the problem. We're seeing the same from Japan, UK, US, or we've got a different mix of a match of modules to offer.
No, it's fairly consistent. I get a lot of questions as to why or how did a Japanese company become the global leader in contract review. It is. You're right. It's very unusual, and there's very few success stories from Japan since the Sony, the Panasonics, of course, that go back a couple of years. Going back to your question as to what it is that we do. So of course there's the user interface that, again, because lawyers are lawyers before being Japanese, American, or British, the way they approach a problem, the way they approach the review of a contract is very consistent, meaning that our experience is relatively consistent across countries, even as different as in language or between the Japan product and our global product. Our AI, we started supporting multiple languages from day one. In Japan, where we support over 25% of all listed companies, most of them with global operations. So that was a feature from our very early days. It means that we were able to really build and improve our AI, but we didn't need to build it separately, if you will, or to do something separate for a different language. And in terms of our approach, which is really unique, which is rare in legal tech, which includes that involvement in legal content, that is very relevant across countries. Lawyers like to know that they can rely on a tool. Lawyers are used to rely on authoritative legal content. And by combining that with the best of AI, it worked in Japan, it's working very well in the US, in the UK, and elsewhere in the world. The approach of a lawyer is the approach of a lawyer, similar to the way a doctor would be approaching a procedure or an operation, if you will.
It will give a high level of confidence to the client. And now we're saying we've got a team of in-house lawyer who really work on the playbook to make sure the quality, the standard output is delivered. Is that what you mean by that layer?
Absolutely. So we do invest a lot in legal content. That means having our teams of lawyers. And when it gets more specialized, we reach out to references in their fields so that when we we make a playbook available, for example. If you're leading a legal team, this gives you a great starting point. And that's how our clients are able to start using our solution from day one, reviewing contracts. And as they go, typically they will add new playbook entries to say, well, my payment terms are X, therefore add this to your review. My preferred jurisdiction is Y. Add this to the review process. So they're able to build on a starting point. And when you're busy, having a place to start, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and the peace of mind as well. That's very, very important to kickstart. Tell us, JP, how much time or how high of the efficiency of your product can save the legal in-house lawyers' time? I think that's one of the most critical questions from the customer.
In reality, it varies, but we do get reports of up to 85% time saving. Very often, those largest savings tend to be associated where the very high volume, lower value type of contract. An NDA is important, needs to be reviewed well, but if you can do it more efficiently, it's an obvious win. We're working with a lot of clients on the larger side, some very large enterprise, in really automating their review of specific contracts that are particular pain points. We were even discussing some really interesting things, allowing some legal teams to, for example, enable the business to, with our tool, validate whether a contract needs to be escalated to legal or whether it's good to send back to the counterparty right away. Definitely new possibilities in that space.
Oh, okay. So from the bread and butter of review and now getting into the process of a bit of a more tailor-made, I suppose it's more high margin business and get to the customer's hardcore. Can you comment on roughly the scale of the company as in revenue range? And then how many customers do you have? And any names you can mention that can give the audience a bit of the idea?
Sure. We're happy to support over 6,000 clients. The growth has been great. Obviously, recently with the focus on AI, we've added 1,000 clients. I think it was over a period of 5 months this year. In terms of revenue, we do not disclose, but we're seeing great progression for clients while really increasing the number of mid-market clients. So that's really interesting and exciting.
Wow, it's an exciting growth, like 20% within a year, from 5,000 to 6,000, which is very impressive. And then with technology coming up, right, we've got LLM maturing very fast and faster than expected. We've got much more calculating power from the infrastructure on the chips supply side for the fundamental layer provider. And of course, everything is around context in that space, which is legal relevant. How are you seeing your product be going and the speed of it with that maturing layer to serve more complicated problems of customers? Are you seeing like, exponential growth? Like we're talking about, the AGI world kind of speed, or are we seeing in the context level, we're getting to a maturing stage pending the function to be speed up, to roll into the product?
No, it's been absolutely exciting to see what technology has allowed us to do over the last year. There's no doubt that we'll see some more exciting technology coming out. We're only really getting started. A lot of our focus today is on those more basic commercial contracts. Obviously, as technology evolves, we can see a day where basically any contract that comes to a legal team could be reviewed within a period of 10 minutes, for example. So when will that be is still always a bit of a question mark, but it is coming. We do see the lawyers still being in the driver's seat, though. AI is great, but there's some things that are best left with or to lawyers, or lawyers' judgment is still relevant. Absolutely relevant, and having them in the driver's seat is absolutely central to our approach. But technology will allow you to really focus on the area where you make a difference. It's true today on NDAs, SaaS agreements, MSAs, the set of, say, 25 contracts that come across your desk most frequently. But as we expand, we'll be able to address less routine, specific type of contracts, and that's really exciting.
That's very exciting. Just like an analogy of having a humanoid robot at home, I still want to control the final taste of my pasta. While the process, I'm okay to leave it for him or her, isn't it?
Absolutely. So yes, so you need to be brought in when at the tasting, for the tasting steps, so you can make the call. Absolutely.
Exactly. Wow, exciting. And then I see you guys have a very interesting, a big announcement recently publicly with Docusign back in your home country. What is the main objective of that collaboration?
Sure. As we work hard to support the needs of legal teams across the various areas related to contracts and beyond, in our home market, we are releasing our own signature solution. So it is a LegalOn signature experience built on Docusign's trusted infrastructure. We saw this as the best of both worlds. Very happy to release that first in Japan, and we may be able to announce more soon.
Okay.
For other markets.
Very exciting. Last but not least, can you comment a little bit softly on the culture of working at a Japanese company but very international? How does it work? Just to give some audience a taste. And I'm pretty sure that will be helpful because you're expanding in the UK. People love to hear a bit, on the working culture side of things.
Yeah, so more than a Japanese company, we are a global company from Japan. I think it's an important distinction to make, and it really shows in the mindset how we approach things. There's a couple of great things that people know, and when they think of Japan, they already see it, right? Amazing work ethics, attention to detail, looking for accuracy and putting the efforts until you get a result that is really where you need it. These things are very compatible with the needs of lawyers. It's unusual to see a legal tech coming from Japan, being founded in Japan. But when you look at these attributes, it does make a lot of sense. And we do have amazing engineering talent, AI talent, which is great. And it's not only in Japan, it's a growing global team. And really, we're very proud of our ability to have teams across countries that can really integrate and work so well together.
I can see your passion in your eyes. So. Thank you, JP.
It is an exciting space.
Exactly. I've been to Japan, a few times this year. We met, so I totally agree with you. The ethics, the quality, the push to passion, and now it's about how to make it perfect in a global sense. Thank you, JP. It's a very good check. I hope you get, very successful in the coming strategy and the years to come. Thank you again. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nene.
Thank you, and see you very soon. Cheers.
Excellent. Thank you.